Hello and welcome back to another guide. So today we are going to be doing Tower of Zigzag. I just beat it yesterday and I just rebeat it on the run before this. It's like 8.38 difficulty. It's actually not too bad, although there are a few bad obstacles in it. So to get to it, you just need to jump on top of here onto the roof. Any way, shape or form. This guy's trying to high jump up there. Don't try that unless you want to be cool. Just go through here down to the tower portal. Yeah, it's by Synchromatic, and let's enter it. The whole quirk of this tower is that it's a zigzag, and yeah, as you just saw, if you fall then you're dead. So these first jumps are a little bit tricky, but it's mostly just practice. You'll get used to them. Do not go right up against that part for the head hitter. This head hitter, you can just try it as many times as you can. Time it so when the platforms are about to pass. Do this wraparound slightly further out than you need to. Line yourself up in the middle. I like jumping a few times just to make sure that I'm around the right area. It makes it a lot easier. Go around here. You can flick around further if you want, and then just make sure to slightly turn yourself in there. You hit your head on that jump, so just keep that in mind. Go around here, climb this on truss and jump off. You can do it backwards too. Jump over here. You can just high jump here for a free skip. It does not skip any checkpoints. This jump sucks, so you want to go right up against here, tilt your character and wait until you're about to fall off and then jump and then move to this ladder. This jump also sucks, so jump through the middle and then tilt your character like I did. This jump also sucks. It's a lot of terrible jumps on this floor, but my personal way of doing it is going around on this wedge here and doing it like that. Make sure that your character is tilted sideways, so whenever your arms are up in the air, it can touch the elevator. That is necessary for that strategy. If you don't do it sideways, then you're not going to make it. Just flick around this ladder, make sure to face that ladder so you can climb it. Jump right here and around this part. Do not go right up against it, treat it like a wraparound. Jump on this ladder, jump off. And now there's this part, go this way. It's more consistent. This way is like way easier, but that way you have like a 99% chance of making. The other way is like a 95 because it's pretty easy either way. This jump is a bigger wraparound, so you do want to line it up. And this jump also, it's terrible. It's not good. All I do is I just keep doing head hitters until I make it, because if you try to rock the platform, you can rock it a little bit too much and you will fall because of that. Do a ladder climb right here. Very, very rarely it can glitch you off and you can fail. Stare at the gap, and then while you're jumping towards it, make sure to keep your eyes on the gap consistently. That's how I'll make those gap jumps. Go around here. I find this skip right here to be easier. I just do that, and it's a heap easier than doing it legitimately. Do a long jump over to here. These are elevators. Doesn't really matter if you do touch them, but it's better not to. I have had an insane save there. Do a flick over here. This is floor 3. Do that big wraparound. Make sure to line yourself up on it. It's a big wraparound. These are some pretty tricky jumps as well, so make sure to take your time and line yourself up. And we have one more very hard jump in this floor before some really random stuff. This jump is fairly hard, so also line yourself up. Practice your stick outs if you haven't before this tower, because you will need to know how to do them. Jump onto that spinner. Jump onto the spinner whenever it is about to disappear inside this block. Jump, and then you'll have the perfect timing. Do this head hitter and face the ladder. Flick off into that little gap. Do not face directly forwards or directly sideways. Face at about a 45-degree angle so you can land like there and be okay. It just has a lot more leniency. Treat these like wraparounds. Do not go right up against it. And now go slowly here. This part has made me fail so many times because of it being a little bit glitchy, but you do not want to go too close to the ledge there, as there's an elevator. Now walk. Make sure to consistently face that one ladder. Same with that one ladder. Just keep facing every ladder here. Walk sideways there. Face the corner of that truss. Do that walk around and face that truss as well. It's a pretty easy section if you know what you're doing. Face that sign and just jump up, and you'll be shot over here. This is floor 4, I think. Up here, you want to jump as soon as the platform disappears in the wedge there. jump into this elevator, you can do it from almost anywhere. Just keep running yourself into that elevator. Go around here. This is really easy. Like, I don't think I've ever failed that part. Same with that conveyor. I've probably failed it like once, but it's also really easy. This is a beat block. Do not make a mistake that I've made a lot and just rush it, because it is pretty tricky. You can take all the time that you need. Do that head hitter there. Make sure that you know the wedge above you is going to be annoying. Go over here. Wait until it's about in the middle and then just curve around like that. Just look at 2 points and then jump from that point to the other point. That's how I do it. You can jump to the side of this truss. It just makes it a little bit quicker. Go down here and then you can just jump over to this part. You can flick all the way from this part to there, or you can do a strategy that Cave Race taught me and jump up to here. The easiest way is tilting your character, how I did. Treat this like a long jump and then long jump over to there. It's a very good strategy. Thank you, Cave Race. I use it every single time I do that part now. There's those spinning platforms. There's these. This is the second hardest floor in my opinion. Second hardest floor of the tower. Go right up against here. Line yourself up really well, because that jump is very hard. And do that jump from about where I did it. Now on this tightrope, go slowly. It would be annoying to fall there. You can just flick up, or you can treat it like a spinning wall hop like I did. Now it's time for this part. This is what makes the floor really hard. So on this conveyor, you want to go to the side and then jump right there and then turn in like a wraparound. Just treat it like a wraparound, but you hit your head. Do that part. Face backwards, go over here. Do not go super far up on this wedge. Go a little bit far up and line yourself up how I am. Because if you're here, then you're going to be stuck, because how the wedge works, and it's a mess. Now you can go into first person there and then turn in. You want to jump on the back side of the spinner, jump around it, and jump to there. You can turn around and do this jump like this, or you could tilt your character slightly about like right there, then jump to the ladder there. That strategy I find is a lot more consistent. Time for the worst part of the tower for especially console players. So you want to jump to the spinning part. You want to immediately get off that one part to this ladder. This ladder is safe, but then you want to stick really close to that and then jump across. It's a lot of practice. I'll link the practice place in the description, but you want to just stick really close and have a pattern of movement that allows you to consistently land on that ladder. I fell on it so many times before beating it. It's actually ridiculous. You could do this squeeze, but it's pretty difficult, or you could do it the way that I do. It's very difficult. You want to do it like that. There's a really far up around. It requires a lot more lineup, but it feels more basic to do. I do this jump as a big stick out and slowly go around that one truss. Jump up here, jump over to here. I just wanted to make sure I got it, because that part is not great. It's not fun. Basically, what you need to do is land on the platform. Do not go directly sideways. Go slightly inner, like 45 degrees, and then tilt your character in. Whenever the platforms are inside there, your character will be boosted up over them, but it's mainly jumping off and facing this ladder that's the tricky part. Do that walk around that I somehow almost failed. How did that happen? Make sure to take your time and line yourself up on these jumps. It would really suck to fail on them. Just time it and treat it like a wraparound, that big block. And now up at this tightrope. This floor is easier than the previous two, but it is trickier, and you will see why. First of all, there's this thing. I find it easier to just do a wraparound around there, but both ways doing it normally and that way are easy. Jump inside that gap and then climb that truss. You want to go sideways and then full on. I don't really know how to describe it. You want to be incredibly careful with this ladder, because it's super easy to slip off of it. So you just want to slowly nudge yourself forward until you fall down. Go slightly down and then jump off. Go slightly up here, and then eventually you'll have a jump high enough. These jumps are pretty easy, but they are scary. Now this part is not great, but it's easy to do if you know the timing. You want to line it up as soon as they like align in one straight line. like that. Do you see after they spun and then lined, I went? Yeah, that's the lineup. And now you're on the first outside. This tower has a lot of nerve control. This first outside is pretty tough. I would say it's the hardest outside, but it starts off pretty easy. It gets hard at this jump right here. So I just want to completely avoid the beat block there. Maxed up kind of helped with that. I originally tried to time it as best as I could to make it better, but it's better just to avoid it completely. Do that wraparound on that wedge, do not go straight up against it. Go pretty far down on it. And then now, you just want to time it, and then jump down to this. Try and aim to climb the ladder there. This is a wraparound where you have to land on a ladder, so make sure that you land on that ladder. Go around here, make sure you line yourself up on that middle stud and you can just jump off like that. Onto this truss, it can boost you up randomly, like that ladder there, but you just want to go really slowly. Now there's that head hitter, what is scary, and you have essentially made it to floor 8, because the rest of the outside, what is 2 more jumps are netted on this little part. Okay, we're at floor 8. Once you make it here, you're at floor 10, if you do not disconnect or anything, because this entire spot is netted. The raw gameplay is a little bit harder, but honestly, it's not much harder from the previous floors, so it's pretty easy. This first part, you just want to time it so you land on that one platform. You can skip doing this wraparound, again, credit to Maxed Up. I've never done it, so I'm just trusting his word. You cannot skip with using this pillar, by the way. That top part can collide falls. I have tried. Go right up against this part to the very edge, jump off. That's why you want to be careful on the floor 7 ladder. Go slightly down on it and then jump across like that. Now you just want to walk across pretty quickly, do this head hitter. You want to always do these parts that are facing this way. You want to always look at the studs. It just makes it really easy. That's a pretty big wraparound with a tight landing, so you might want to practice it. Go on this X pusher backwards very slowly at the end part, and then just walk off how I did. This part is tricky, but you want to go on the folding platform and then fit inside that one gap. You want to jump to this part. You can do it in one rotation there. Now there's this jump. You just want to move once you are barely past this part. Now you want to do a big wraparound, and then you want to jump up there. And it's basically at floor 2. Just climb that part how I did. Do this big wraparound here. Just wiggle yourself up here, and then you're at floor 2. Awesome. Go right at this side of it, and then you want to kind of curve how I did. It's pretty easy. You want to do that jump how I did, just keep facing the truss. It's easier doing the jump like that. Credits to Maxed Up for a 3rd time. Maxed Up did a lot of this, as I have barely practiced this. Go across here, treat that jump like a head hitter, and then do a wraparound there. Just slowly jump up here, because you do not want your character to tilt weirdly and fall because of it. It's not too big of a deal if you do fall. Now we're up to the hardest part of floor 2. This is definitely by far the hardest part of floor 2. It's not even close. You want to flick off here and then turn in there. It's just really, really easy gameplay, seriously. And floor 10 is also very easy, except for this one jump. This one jump is pretty hard. You want to do that wraparound slightly further out. Jump on this one truss, same with that one. You want to do it slightly further out. Over here, this is basically floor 1 jump, like the first one, but it's easier. Since this one is tilted, you want to go out quite a bit, and you want to jump on this tightrope very carefully, and just slowly or quickly go down it. It doesn't really matter. Jump through this one gap, and then do this as a big wraparound. Now you can head hitter up to this one ladder. I'm at floor 10 outside again. Do this jump slightly further out than you need to. These are pretty far, so you want to line yourself up. Also, at this part, there is a small chance that you can catch yourself at floor 7 outside. But for the rest of it, there's no chance. These jumps are very easy. Whenever you practice this tower, floor 10 outside is the bit that you want to practice. You do want to practice a few other floors, but mostly like 50% of your practice needs to go to this one outside. Jump down here, down to that part. Just be very careful to try and not walk off there. Slowly go around this one truss, or you can go quickly if you're speedrunning. Jump over here, time that jump so you do not hit your head. Jump around here. Now you want to jump at the very peak of this, over to that part. It doesn't really matter if you do fail, you can land back on that one stud. Line yourself up again, but this one jump, and now this is a 2 to 3 stud stick out. It's pretty tricky. So this is a pretty big jump that I somehow almost failed. You want to jump there and look and climb at the ladder at that part. You want to treat that like a long jump. There's an easy corner jump there. This part is very scary. Align yourself there, slightly tilt your character out, and not do that. That's how you not win